Hello everybody and welcome to our latest webinar. Today I'm joined by Rachel from Helpthemove and we're going to chat through the Helpthemove platform and about landlord void and notifications. Hi Rachel, are you okay?
Yeah, good, thank you. Thanks for having me here.
No worries, thank you very much for joining us. So let's kick off and let's get started. So do you want to just give us a bit of background, Rachel, in regards to who and what Helpthemove are and a bit about yourself as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So firstly, I'll introduce myself. So I'm Rachel Braddock and I'm Head of Business Development at Helpthemove, and amongst a number of different areas that I work across, including sales, operations and the product itself. I also obviously work closely with our indirect channel partners such as you guys at HomeLet. Kind of talking about Helpthemove, the background of what we do. So Helpthemove is a free utility management service available to the UK letting sector, and is ultimately designed to save property managers time, support them to generate additional revenue. And the core proposition is we automate the change of tenancy notifications to the council, the water and the energy, all in one go for property managers across the UK, so it's all centralised. And that service drives significant efficiencies across time-saving efficiencies, enables the revenue to be generated essentially for an admin task that would otherwise be quite arduous and unprofitable for the agents. And the way that they can generate revenue is through an energy switch service with our preferred energy supplier. Okay,
so sounds a good thing. It not only saves time for agents, but also could be a valuable income stream into their business. So
yeah.
How did Helpthemove come about initially, Rachel, and what actual problems does Helpthemove proposition solve for our letting agents?
Yeah, so Stephen Hennessy is the director and founder of Helpthemove, and he, I suppose, had industry knowledge in both the property and energy markets, and had a unique insight into the pain points that were experienced by property managers, and the inefficiencies of traditional utility management. And along with kind of separate insight into the commercial opportunity within the energy, residential energy sector in the UK, he kind of put two and two together and saw the opportunity. So that's kind of how we came about back in, I think, 2014. The core problems that we solve and the business solves for property managers, it's kind of the same for everybody. So property managers across letting, sales, social housing, PRS, new build developments, etc. They all face the same problem, if you like. They're all required to ensure that the utilities and the council is informed each time there's a change of responsibility at a property, to ensure that the correct party is then billed for their corresponding period of responsibility. And the task is arduous, it's time consuming. There's no set process for managing these notifications. Data can potentially get lost. Unnecessary time is spent calling or emailing or writing letters. You'll still find some organisations kind of feel that they need to write letters. So essentially, it's a difficult process. It takes a lot of time, and that's kind of where we come in. And as well, certainly within the bigger organisations, you've often got a lot of different people who manage different stages of that property management journey. So you might have, administrators within an agency who are responsible for managing people vacating, and others that are managing people moving in. And obviously between them, there's a shared responsibility there for ensuring that the notifications and the utility suppliers are kept up to date. So through our proposition, we aim to kind of solve that and bring that solution together into one centralised platform. In addition to kind of the core product that we offer and the core service that we offer, there are a number of additional problems and therefore benefits that we can address. So, for example, there's a lot of cases where property managers will end up paying off debt on behalf of a vacating tenant because it hasn't been paid throughout the tenancy period, and they're kind of left with that problem at the end of a tenancy. We've got a solution that kind of looks at that. Tenants are often unaware who their supplier is upon moving. So obviously working with a solution that we offer, we can provide that information. They know, they're informed, and they know what they're updating their tenants with. And inaccurate bills during the void period can be a real pain and hard to manage. And again, that's kind of where our solution comes in and supports the agent.
Okay, brilliant. I know from talking to some of the HomeLet customers, I think some of the biggest feedback we've had is the whole audit trail, the fact that, within the system, all of the notifications are stored on there. So if at any point something does go wrong or the landlord has a query, it's easy for them to go back into the system and pull that information out. So, that's some of the feedback we've had. So just to sort of summarize then, Rachel, what would you sort of say the main 2 or 3 features are of the Helpthemove, and secondly to that, how do agents actually interact with Helpthemove? Is it via a portal, etc.?
Yeah. So we provide, I think, in terms of main features, so we provide a seamless automated digital platform, the portal, that takes care of those change of tenancy notifications all in one centralised place, ensuring that the property suppliers are aware who's responsible for the bills at each stage of the journey. The kind of key thing to get across really is the time saving element for the property managers. It is really significant when it's used to its full advantage, and we're talking about saving them 90% to 100% depending on how they use the platform versus what they're currently doing. We remove the need for any emails, letters, phone calls to suppliers or direct correspondence. So, if you think about the amount of time that they're spending on that currently, or that they're having challenges with that's kind of taken away, and they can rely on our service to remove that for them. And as you mentioned, so we provide a full audit trail of all the notifications that have been completed. So they've got access to the records from an audit perspective at any time, literally a click of a button away, should they need to refer back to that. If they're challenged by a supplier to the property to say, we've not got information about X, Y, and Z, they can actually audit and they can say, look, the notification's here's the date and time stamp record of this coming to you, and here's a copy of the content that was sent out. So they've got peace of mind that action has been performed and that they've got a record at hand. The other thing is, obviously I talked about the number of users before, so there's absolutely no limit on the number of users that any one organisation can have within the system, which means that multiple people can have a personalised login, and again the tracking can go down to that individual level. So if you were responsible for one part of the journey and I was responsible for another, it would track against us individually on the system, so you can kind of see where things are up to, and you've got full transparency of that as well. The system itself is an online web-based software, so specifically designed so that it can be used from any kind of device or application. So you can access it from a desktop, a laptop, an iPad, a mobile, which can be helpful for some teams who have departments that are on the go and collecting information on the go. So you might have maintenance teams that collect or inventory teams that collect meter readings and things like that and are responsible for submitting those back, so they can have access on the go as they're working, again to save duplication of work and save time. And the service that we offer is completely free, so there's no cost to the agent for using it, and as we've discussed, it provides that revenue stream into their business as well, which is monetizing a task that they're already doing. And then, as I said, there's kind of additional solutions that we have evolved over time by working with both the utility side of the industry and the letting side of the industry. So it's allowed us to kind of be a bit of a gateway between the two, learn from each side kind of how we can marry the two together to offer a service that satisfies the requirements of all parties involved in that journey. I think we'll possibly come onto it, but there's other benefits in the service and the service elements that we can offer, including the access to our ring fence teams. So obviously we've got a very experienced support team here, and then also within SSE as well. So they've also got access to a support network, rather than having to deal with any challenges on their own. They can lean on us, having been in the industry for this period of time that we have done, and what we've learned, we can kind of share that knowledge and make sure that they feel confident in how to get the most from the service.
Yeah, because that was going to be the next question I was going to ask, actually, is obviously SSE is your current choice of energy supplier. How does that relationship work with them? Does Helpthemove have a sort of special support team? I think you've alluded to that already. And what benefit is that to our letting agents, having that special relationship with them?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been working in partnership with SSE since 2017. And we're one of the biggest partners in their housing partnerships department. We've got a great relationship with the team there, really great bunch, and we work with dedicated senior team members, as well as we have a dedicated team that is solely responsible for processing and supporting clients of Helpthemove. So that is essentially a team that is available to us and our internal team here at Helpthemove for anything that we need to kind of query with them, but also to our network of clients and the network of clients that HomeLet introduce as well. So the key benefits of having that relationship for the property managers is that they are able to liaise with and speak to somebody at SSE that understands their business model. They're an agent, and they might need to call on behalf of a landlord or a tenant, but often there are, via typical channels and switchboards, there are often challenges in being able to carry out the functions within their role as the managing agent, because they are not those individuals. Whereas, we've got a dedicated team, they know who the agents are, they've got a direct relationship with those agents as well as our team, and they can therefore offer that extra level of service. Secondly, I suppose there's access to the expertise within SSE as well. So if there's an unknown issue that a property manager is dealing with within the energy space, chances are the team at SSE have seen it all before, and they'll be able to kind of help them out or point them in the right direction if it's not something specifically relating to their area. So again, it's a really valuable addition to the service. And then the final point, I guess, to raise on this area is the speed of service. So because it is a dedicated team and it is set up, and it's not servicing the millions and trillions of customers out there, from a consumer perspective, they're able to answer the phone within a number of a short number of rings, rather than agents having to wait on hold for 20-30 minutes before they can even speak to somebody who might not be the right person. So yeah, it's kind of taking away that burden from the property manager.
Okay, brilliant. And what are the general sort of SLAs for completing switches at SSE versus probably the industry average? Is it better, or is it similar to what you would expect from other suppliers?
Yeah, SSE are better than industry average. Their process enables the electric suppliers to be captured within 5 working days, and the gas suppliers to be captured within 10 working days. The industry average sits at about 21 days, so this is pretty fast. And we've also got the ability to obviously work in partnership with the client, i.e. the agent and the energy partner, to align the supply start date to neatly cover the void period, so that they're dealing with a single bill for that void period, and not having to deal with multiple bills, energy bills from different suppliers over that window of time, which keeps it all kind of neat and again reduces the number of tasks that they have to complete over that period.
Okay, and sorry, I apologize. I was meant to ask a question before. So from the portal perspective, I believe there's 2 ways agents can interact with that. It can either be on a manual basis, so they can go in and input the information, or with some software suppliers out there, we can work on sort of data file transfers where reports are run automatically off, and and obviously they're sent over to you guys securely to complete the information.
Yeah, that's right. So we you kind of covered it there. So to operate a couple of models. So self-serve, which is basically utilising the full capacity of the portal in terms of providing the data directly to it, which if you've got a central administration team, that might be preferable. Or if you are an agent who is very time pressed, or you've got stock which is of such a scale that it just makes sense to have more of a streamlined solution in place where that data is coming directly into us, then we can work with, whether it's in-house bespoke software that the agent's got, or whether it's, one of the standard property management software suppliers out there in the market. We're always happy to have discussions to look at setting up either reporting or more integrated solutions with those suppliers. Okay,
perfect. So just moving on a little bit then. So obviously, Helpthemove are one of the largest suppliers out there. Obviously there's other people, other competitors. What would you say is your biggest USP versus the other competitors out there?
Yeah, I think that's a good one. I think that's twofold probably. So I would say, firstly, our software, the Helpthemove portal delivers efficiency and is genuinely a best-in-class user experience. It's an end-to-end utility management solution for the agent. They can make change of tenancy notifications to the council tax, the water and the energy in a click of a button, and essentially generate revenue without any extra effort. So for me, it's the efficiency of how the software is designed, specifically with feedback, over the years from our client base, to shape that and make sure it's fit for purpose. And then secondly, I would say our expertise. Utility management is what we do at Helpthemove. It's not a tag-on service to something else that we do. It's what we're good at, and we care about service excellence from management right the way, through to sales, through to support. So we understand the needs and the wants of the letting sector, and we understand the requirements of the property suppliers. And I guess that knowledge and experience in those two areas really kind of sets us apart. And as I said, over the last 5 years or so, we've evolved with the sector. So we've learned as we've gone along, and I think we've now got to a point where we have perfected the model, and certainly on both sides, but also on the energy side, the processes that we've got in place now are allowing us to deliver a market leading conversion rate as well.
Okay, perfect. Couple of questions just what we got from some agents. So obviously with the partnership with HomeLet and Helpthemove, how does Helpthemove support the HomeLet customer? Do you have a dedicated support team again at Helpthemove that deals solely with HomeLet's customers?
Yeah, we work closely with the HomeLet team to ensure each new client is obviously onboarded and has the support from day one in terms of being able to understand the scope of what we can offer, and make sure that they're all kind of set up correctly to suit their organisation. Not every customer is the same. We've got agents who are small, agents who are huge, and everything in between really. And because of the spread of different types of property managers across the UK, there are different nuances and kind of bespoke requirements that crop up, and we're not afraid to flex and to work with that, and to kind of make sure that we understand the business model of the client we're working with, to make sure that what we are delivering is going to be exactly what they need. Each obviously client will have a account manager within the Helpthemove team. So they not only have they got their point of contact over at HomeLet, but they've also got a point of contact here. And then of course they've got access to our Manchester-based support team, which is an in-house team who are beyond brilliant, and a team across at SSE as well, who are dedicated just for Helpthemove customers. So yeah, but they're accessible via phone, email, and online chat, our in-house team, and they are literally the most helpful people I know, and they will go above and beyond to do what they can for our client base.
And then, to be honest, that is absolutely the feedback that we've had so far. So, thank you to the team. Just another question that we've had in. Obviously, as agents are sharing landlords' details via the platform, obviously, is it all GDPR compliant? There's no issues or anything that an agent needs to be concerned about?
Yeah, absolutely. Fully compliant. And I guess just for clarity within our relationship, so property manager always remains the data controller, and Helpthemove are acting as the data processor. And essentially any data that's passed through the system, so landlord data, tenant data, details, they're only used for the purposes that the property manager instructs us to use them for. So they can kind of rest assured there that, it's all compliant, it's all safe. And it's probably worth touching on as well. We're also obviously fully compliant with the Ofgem requirements as well.
Okay, perfect. Just last question then from me. How quick is it? How quick can an agent be signed up and ready to go?
Yeah, really quick actually. So as soon as we get a new client that would like to come on board, it's a case of a 15-minute max setup to get their account set up, and then we'd recommend maybe a 30-minute slot for a training session to make sure that they're comfortable in navigating, and so that they've got the full details about the wider scope of the service we can offer. And because the platform is intuitive and it's user friendly, it's very quick to adopt internally as well. So there's no big kind of rollout scheme that needs to be considered. It's nice and simple.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you very much. I think for me, and feel free, Rachel, if there's anything else you want to add. I think the 2 points really is, one, it's a huge time saving exercise for all of our agents. Pass it over to you guys, let the system do all the work, and allow them to do other things that can generate them revenue. And I think the other key thing is it generates them revenue as well. So not only is it saving time, but it's also an income stream into that business. So I don't know if there's anything else, Rachel, you want to add before we wrap up the webinar?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've got it covered there. Hopefully it's the solution for anyone that's listening.
Perfect. Well, if any of our customers or any new letting agents are interested, just drop me an email. It's chris.turner@homelet.co.uk, and we'll get one of the team to give you a call and chat through. So thank you, Rachel. I'll no doubt speak to you again soon, and thanks for your time.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
All right. Take care. Bye.